Hey guys, welcome back to Judo Highlights. We'll have a look at the top IPPONS from the Grand Slam in Baku. And we're going to start with my favorite one, this Ashiguruma from Murao. Probably my favorite technique. Gets him moving with the side step and then double lapel. So I thought Blue was going to defend this, but somehow Murao just controls him well and gets him over. Absolutely incredible. A little bit of Nagase in there, I can see it. Maybe Murao's been studying the master himself. Now this one was absolutely insane. I mean, we see katagurumas all the time, but how often do you see them like this? I mean, this variation is so crazy, I'm not even sure I should call it a kataguruma. I'm not sure if it's a tani otoshi either. It's some hybrid technique, but amazing to see. Also guys, while we're here in the top IPPONS video, a little PR. Check out the Judo Wiki. Become a channel member. It supports the channel, helps me out a lot. And it builds the Judo Wiki, slowly becoming an amazing resource for a lot of people. And of course, like always, don't forget to use my discount code for JUDOTV. Don't do what I did and pay full price. I didn't even use my own code. Silly of me. But anyway, back to the IPPONS. Now this next one from the man himself, really subtle. And I want you guys just to have a look at Bashaev. He's going in and out. In and out. Just moving in and out. Here he goes out and then in again. And so he's just creating a bit of movement, especially at the heavier weights. And then that kind of disguises his technique a little bit. That's a beautiful one by Bashaev. Here's another one. And you got to give the man props because he's been doing this quite a few times. And it's really nice to see non-Japanese judoka doing this. It is a technique that I've seen mostly Japanese judoka do. And not a lot of non-Japanese judoka. But Bashaev, he's definitely made this technique his own. Hitting it numerous times in competition now. Look at that. Uchimata Sukashi. Absolutely amazing. Now this one I really liked. It was good to see this at the lightweights. They win a lot of IPPONS in the lightweight divisions. But this one was a beautiful one. Uchimata and then Ochi Kochi. Not enough for IPPON, but still a beautiful technique in my opinion. There's quite a few wazaris in here. Actually, there's one technique in here that's a no score at all, but I just had to include it. And how about this from Nakano? Left fist right, taking a top grip. There's that Ochi Kochi again. So that's becoming a bit of a thing. I've seen a lot of the Japanese copy it from Haga. And then you're seeing it now kind of spread out into the world. And people are really starting to use it. Beautiful uranage at plus 100s here. And this is pretty special for a big guy to get low like this. Really squat down. Look how low he gets. And then to finish the technique beautifully like that. Awesome. Here's Alta, and I did like this Uchimata a lot. I guess this would be the Nidan Uchimata done by Suzuki. Although I would say Suzuki did it a little bit better than Alta here. Still though, Alta, great control with the hands. If you ever have this done to you, sometimes your foot gets stuck in the tatami and then it's just a knee injury waiting to happen. Now this one also a wazari, but I think it should be IPPON. I don't see why this is not an IPPON. And it's absolutely beautiful as well. Getting him down to the ground, just breaking balance, pulling him down here, and then taking advantage of the situation, keeping him up, avoiding the newaza. I don't know what Blue was trying to do there by hooking the legs, but Takeoka, very opportune stuff there. And here she is, the queen herself, with her combination, beautiful Tomoe Juji combination from Sunoda. Everyone knows it's coming, but they cannot stop it. Watch the feet, two legs. A lot of people try to finish their Tomoe Nage with just one leg, but Sunoda really puts both of them into play. And I'll show you guys what I mean by that. This one here, this Tomoe Nage, Yoko Tomoe Nage. And definitely people are mostly doing Yoko Tomoe Nage. Not a lot of people just doing the straight Tomoe Nage like Sunoda, but for this variation, most of the time, that second foot isn't really in play. Not really attached to the body. I do love a good Yoko Tomoe Nage myself. Now next up we've got one from Nagayama. And this is a Sode. Don't see him do Sodes very often, but low Sode. A lot of people that kind of stay high, kind of go back to chest, but he gets really low in this one. Kind of taking a knee to the ground. You got to be pretty strong to be able to do that. Uchigaishi now. And does it get more classic than that? I think the problem with Blue here, I mean, he had a good entry. But this back grip, and I know you can do Ochi from the back grip, but he didn't really break White's posture at all. All it really did was bring him closer. And that just made the Uchigaishi that much easier. Now this one here, this was the technique I wanted to include. There was no score. I mean, this is crazy, right? From Ishihara. Goes for a reverse Seoinage. And then on the return, on the way up, he attacks Osotogari. So this is some opportune stuff. Looks a little bit dangerous. But it would have been incredible if he somehow hit that. Now this is a beautiful Osotogari from one of my new favorite judokas to watch, Drapeau. And he's got the sleeve, and then he goes cross grip with the lapel, really driving all his weight through the gi onto that elbow. And he didn't do it once, he had another Osoto here. This time, different grip. And a little feint, little skip with the legs. And as Drapeau's doing it, he's definitely watching, just seeing how he reacts. And he didn't get a reaction, so goes in for the Osoto. Maybe he would have looked for something different if he put the leg back or bent over. Now here's another one from Drapeau. I mean, these Ippons are absolutely amazing. He might be the most amazing Canadian Ippon artist out there. And I'm really excited. I hope I see him versus Nagase again, because they had a really close match. Was it last year? Sometime last year before the Olympics. Big Uranage now, and this is a problem when you do Osotogari. A lot of the times you get yourself in this position, especially if you have a top grip like that, not really punching against the chin. That's a big Uranage. But it wasn't now. Goes to the mat. Now White, he tried to stand up, and Blue just mat returned him. And then jumped on his back. And you don't see this often. Have a look at this choke. Now next up, Abeuta. Now there was some discussion in the comments whether she wanted her first contest to go into golden score. And she didn't just, come out and look for the Ippon. I reckon she was looking for the Ippon from the first couple of seconds of the contest, and it just didn't come. But nonetheless, she is back in the winning column. Now a lot of these Uchimatas from Arai here are Wazaris. Have a look at the whip, this whipping action that he does with the elbow. I mean, a lot of people do it, high elbow, but really using that elbow to kind of whip and generate momentum. Here he is doing it again. Actually takes multiple stabs at it. So have a look at his left arm and the elbow. Up and down, up and down, up and down. And as I said, a lot of people do this, but if you have a look at Murao, for example, Murao, he does it a lot with the sleeve. Actually, Haga does it as well. Really kind of whipping the sleeve elbow. How about that for a bow and arrow choke? Gonçalves, he's a really interesting guy to watch out for right now. And so is this guy from Brazil as well. I'm just going to call him Franco. Franco Wiak. Big, strong, powerful guy. Great techniques. I've got another one from him in this video. It's this one here. It's not an Ippon, but it just reminds me of Iliadis doing this kind of surigoshi, one-handed on the belt. And look at this. This is awesome. Absolutely love this technique, and I'm glad to see it again on the IJF Tour. I guess before the recent rule changes, people would have gotten a head diving Hansokumake for that, so maybe we'll see it back a little bit more. This one here, beautiful combination. Osoto, Taniatoshi, classic combination. Look at that, and that is a massive ippon as well. Definitely putting this one in the judo wiki. Now this one, is this a surikomigoshi? I couldn't think of a name for it. It's been a while since I've seen this technique. And Garrigos, down at under 60s, he will do a similar entry but go off the opposite side. We saw that in that kind of famous match now against Takato, when there was a little bit of an injury. Bit of debate happened around that technique. Tamaoki with a low Sore surikomigoshi.
They've met one time before. Verstraeten was the winner.
And Verstraeten, I think I've seen him do this before. He does like this combination of kosoto to kataguruma. So pushing that foot back with the kosoto, and then when that other foot comes forward, he attacks it for the kataguruma. Now this one, this is just a sumi otoshi. I thought it might have been an osoto otoshi, but just really controlled it well. Stayed composed. And I mean, with these grips, I mean, he's got so much control. And is that a hand under the belt I saw? That's good to see. I'm still waiting for people to really kind of utilize that grip under the belt that we're allowed to do now. And bear hugs, I want to see a really nice clean bear hug one of these days. Now this one, a nice seoinage, gets a bit of lift. But this one here from Nagayama, watching the slow-mo, watch his foot. And Basili, he will love this. He keeps it up in the air and uses it as a pendulum. Just waits for the timing and generates momentum that way. So that is a big thing in judo, using that pendulum kind of movement, swinging. Now this one's beautiful as well. Kataguruma, but gets a really nice lift. Flat on the back. Good control. Now this one, it's similar to how Maruyama does his uchimata, kind of doing a taiotoshi in against the thigh. Although Maruyama definitely gets a lot more lift. Probably a lot more speed as well. Now this osoto is beautiful, just really crowding, just really causing a lot of problems with that surite hand. And Blue, he's trying to walk backwards, he's trying to deal with the grips. And then that just makes the osoto really easy when you get people walking backwards like that. Now this is where Vieru got thrown, got countered. Now Blue, he's kind of setting up something. He's going cross grip to back grip. And then Vieru, he looks to kind of, you know, capitalize on that situation. So it was kind of like a counter-counter. Vieru got countered, he was looking for a counter. Interesting stuff. Sode surikomigoshi from Ishihara, just a wazari, but you know, it's always beautiful to see these guys load up someone on their hips, follow through, keep rotating around, and eventually getting the technique. Look at this. Using the legs as well on the inside of the thigh. You see people do that these days to finish the throw. Toroboyev, under 100s, he is a prime example of doing that with his uchimata. Now this one's obitorigaishi, right, because he had the belt. I do want to call it a sumigaishi, but you can see he does get the belt in a second. There it is, he's got the belt now, so I guess because he takes this grip, we have to call it obitorigaishi. And, would you believe it guys, that was the last ippon. Just crept up on me like that. I hope you enjoyed this one. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.